the first ever meeting between the Ducks and the Tigers, and what a fun game this should be. These are two really, really good teams. A lot of new faces on both sides. Obviously, Memphis loaded with freshmen. Good pace. And missing the free throw is Okoro, a sophomore from Nigeria. As we take a look at the Memphis lineup, they are starting 5 freshmen. Again, the #1 ranked incoming recruiting class. Their top 6, arguably their top 7 players, all freshmen, a couple of good sophomores as well. But youth will be served in this program right now under Penny Hardaway.
Well, the top 6 guys are all freshmen, and the key is going to be handling pressure and taking care of the ball. Got to switch now. Pritchard on Wiseman underneath.
Boogie Ellis forces up a deep 3.
Ellis, another freshman, San Diego, California, can really, really shoot it. A 3-level scorer.
He is now 8 for 14 from beyond the arc. Both of these programs are 2-0 in the young season. A couple of blowout wins for Memphis over South Carolina State and Illinois, Chicago. Oregon is 2-0. They've beaten Fresno State and Boise State.
Talk about another guy that can really shoot it. Anthony Mathis, who transferred in from New Mexico. He is now 10 of 14 on this season from three-point range. You cannot let him catch and shoot, and Memphis just did.
His last year of eligibility, transfers to Oregon to play with his buddy that he played with for 3 years in high school, Peyton Pritchard. Boy, a strong baseline drive and kick.
Good fake by Mathis.
And a wide open shot will rattle out for Shakur Houston. That's a pretty good look, though.
Houston, another transfer, came in from UNLV, where not last year, but the year before, he averaged a double-double, 14 and 10. Had some injury issues last year, lost a good part of the season.
And the 3 way too strong for Lester Quinones, another good freshman. I guess it goes without saying, all 5 guys on the floor, they're good freshmen right now for Memphis.
Anybody from Memphis, it's almost like we don't have to say freshman. If he's not a freshman, we'll let you know.
Okoro sizing up Wiseman, can't get the shot off over the length of Wiseman. Chris Duarte, tough turnaround jumper for the junior college transfer, and Wiseman outfights his own teammate for the rebound.
When Wiseman's guarding the screener in pick and rolls, you almost have to come off that pick and roll looking to shoot because he's hanging back. There's the first turnover.
And Memphis can get a little going after the 5-star kids. There's always so much, as you well know, Jay, so much basketball talent coming out of the city of Memphis.
Well, it's a talent-rich environment, and Memphis, in a very short period of time, is back to among the most talented programs in the country. #1 recruiting class led by Wiseman. Good
Not
rebound.
this time for Ellis. Strong rebound underneath by Precious Achiuwa, and he has it knocked away.
Duarte knocked it away and blocked it from behind.
Dana Altman, the head coach of the Oregon Ducks, in his 10th season in Eugene, 237 and 96, a Final Four trip in 2017, and they are picked to win the Pac-12 this year. A miss in tight here for the Tigers.
Numbers for Oregon. Good pass.
Duarte for 3. Well, he won't get a better look, and a nice tap back out to keep it alive by Houston. Pritchard misses a 3.
Well, Oregon's missed some open shots, but they're getting good ones.
Yeah, Memphis very fortunate to be down only 3.5 minutes into the game. Ball sticking a little bit right now for the Tigers. Not much going on.
There's no movement. They haven't made a play call. Just threw the ball away trying to get it to Wiseman.
And now numbers 4 on 2. And another missed 3. Not a great shot there by Mathis. And then an Oregon turnover. Boy, a little bit sloppy at both ends. And then great speed accelerating down the court for Damian Baugh, the freshman from Nashville.
Damian Baugh is a real key for this Memphis team because he's got to run the team and do so without making mistakes.
Wiseman with a rejection. He had 8 in the first 2 games of the season combined.
Wiseman is such a presence. He's got great hands and a really good feel. Nice cut to the basket by Achiuwa. Anytime that Achiuwa or Wiseman set a screen, they are just going to roll straight to the basket, and they take a lot of attention with them.
Pritchard will pull up for a 3. In and out. And right now, Oregon getting very little inside other than that first bucket from Okoro.
Oregon's going to have to get this done defensively. There's a switch. Door at #1. Boy, but how about Evansville? Sam Cunliffe who started at Arizona State, transferred to Kansas, now at Evansville. That's a big win for Evansville. Great passing.
Okoro can't finish over DJ Jeffries, but the follow is good to tie the game. And you saw Wiseman on the bench. James Wiseman, 2 early fouls for Memphis, and will that be the last we see of him in the first half, perhaps?
I doubt it, but I didn't think that second foul was a good call at all. That was not a charge. That was a block. A little 1-2-2 three-quarter court pressure by Oregon after the made field goal.
But Pritchard kept the dribble alive and just keeps on going.
And just threw his chest right into Achiuwa to knock him back. He is very good off screen and roll situation. Plays with really good pace.
Won 4 state titles in high school. Was a freshman on the team that went to the Final Four. And is on pace if they have a good year. Baseline jumper is a little bit short for Lance Thomas, a transfer from Louisville. Now a redshirt sophomore as Penny Hardaway has started going to his bench a little bit. And the corner 3 will go down for Will Richardson, a sophomore from Hinesville, Georgia, to extend the Oregon lead.
Richardson was the 6th man last year, lefty. Get a foul right there. You play him, you're on notice that he's ineligible. So you should know that you're playing an ineligible player. And so in the future, if this goes through a further challenge, and he's determined that they did play him as an ineligible player, there's a restitution rule, they call it, bylaw 19, where they can hit Memphis with a bag of hammers if they want to.
But what qualifies as a bag of hammers?
Postseason bans. There's all kinds of things they can do. Everything in their basically in their rule book they can throw at Memphis if they choose to.
And is the next order of business the hearing on Monday?
That's the next order of business in the court case. Yes, but there's all kinds of things that could happen. Yeah, the NCAA could just say, all right, well, go ahead. We told you he's ineligible. If you want to go ahead and play him, go ahead. But we can ban you from postseason play. They could even ban him from postseason play this year if they chose to.
Air ball on a 3 by Achiuwa, and back comes Oregon as the Ducks continue to execute better. They're getting better looks generally. They're just missing some, or they could have a much larger lead than they do.
A bit of a mismatch right now. Achiuwa guarding Pritchard.
Ball screened by Houston. Richardson kicks it across to Pritchard, 10 to shoot.
Got to drive him.
And he does. And he gets it up off the glass and in. Second driving layup of the night for Peyton Pritchard.
Yeah, that's just a smart play by the senior. He's got a guy that can't stay in front of him. Go by him. TRO on those shorts.
You know what? I'm willing to let you leave the table and go get that right now. Just be back for the second half. DJ Jeffries, another very highly ranked recruit, misses the corner 3, and a great effort there by Baugh for the follow.
Damien Baugh really fought there, the freshman from Nashville, Tennessee. He's long-armed and has three-point range. And I think he's got a chance to be an outstanding defender.
This is C.J. Walker, number 14, Sanford, Florida, top 25 recruit. Good drive, and the lefty Richardson with a reverse.
Just lifted up the offense and drove right past.
Nice look from Baugh to Quinones, but he is swarmed in the corner, has to give it up. Baugh, step-in floater, too strong.
And thus far, all 5 Oregon players have gone to the defensive board. Nobody leaking out early. Good pass.
Okoro with good position. Jump hook, too strong.
Well, Richardson had that shot, but decided to throw it inside.
Lob too high. And then has been putting together over 31 seasons as a head coach, 647 wins. We mentioned a trip to the Final Four back in 2017, 3-time Pac-12 Coach of the Year.
Well, he's the all-time wins leader at Creighton and Oregon. Just recently passed Ernie Kent to be the all-time wins leader at Oregon. And he's pretty good at this coaching stuff.
Yeah, we'll see another very accomplished coach. Well, 2 of them, in fact, but in the second game of the doubleheader tonight, which you can see on ESPN2, but one in particular, Lon Kruger, who's got some similar accomplishments to what Dana Altman has. He's been around forever. He's coached at a lot of different spots. He's been very successful. We got Lon Kruger in Oklahoma, Wayne Tinkle in Oregon State in the second game tonight.
Right, Memphis was switching on their last defensive possession, did a good job throughout the possession, but didn't finish it by grabbing the defensive rebound, and Duarte was able to get a stick back. Yet another easy layup, another turnover. Over goes to the passer that threw it to him. A little 2-3 zone right now. And Oregon will switch defenses up, and they can switch from zone to man at times. Cooper athletic, long-armed, he can rebound, good play.
And the Tigers have gotten back within 7. 6:25 to go in the first half. We're at the Phil Knight Invitational. Phil Knight sitting just a few feet to our right here with the Moda Center tonight.
He seemed very impressed with you when he came in.
Well, because he thought I was McDonough.
Here's the high screen after the weave action, got a switch.
And kicked it off to the corner where the three won't go down. Offensive rebound, strong. You know, especially young Penny, college Penny, first few years in the NBA before some injuries. Penny, he was something to behold. He was quite a player.
Good challenge of that shot by Ellis, by Houston. He took off, didn't go rebound, but he really did a great pass.
And the left-handed lay-in by Lawson at the other end.
Boy, that was kind of old Celtic stuff. You lay it in on one end before you can finish celebrating. They're laying it in on you on the other.
Nearly a turnover. Achiuwa, we're trying to thread the needle when he might have had a shot, and eventually a turnover. Addison Patterson is... Anthony Mathis back in for Oregon, number 32. Some decent ball movement here by the Tigers. Quinones will get an open look and bury it.
It was pretty darn good.
A little ball pressure now in the backcourt, trying to trap Pritchard. He's got to get some help. Got to get it over, and he turns it. Last year, Pritchard the only exception. Nice turnaround jumper in the paint for Alex Lomax.
Lomax did a nice job of pivoting away from the pressure.
Lomax averaging 5 points per game last year as a freshman for Memphis. Lawson turns it over. Oregon getting sloppy right now. Lomax left-handed, yes! Try here to start the second half.
A knee contusion, so going to give it a shot. He's wearing a little sleeve around that left knee. In the first half, the defense, that was a tough pass. But the defense played by Memphis to get them back in this game was, I thought, was keyed by Damian Baugh, a little bit by Alex Lomax coming into the game.
Ellis tries to go over the top. Prince along with Houston. There'll be some good games in the American this year.
Yeah, that was probably voted before Houston got Quentin Grimes eligible to transfer from Kansas.
Knocking it down is Boogie Ellis, who originally committed to Duke, then decommitted, and wound up at Memphis, the freshman from San Diego.
They have two players in this Memphis recruiting class. One, DJ.
It went, according to ESPN rankings, it was Memphis, Duke, Kentucky, and Oregon, 1 through 4.
Memphis switching basically every screen or exchange.
Okoro with a good ball screen. Pritchard gets a pretty good look at a three. Won't go down. 5-point lead for the Ducks against Oregon State. Oklahoma still to come here in Portland.
I got a rules question for you. On a lane violation, why do you get another free throw?
I know, you just want them to get the ball.
You
Is
should
that
get
right?
the ball.
Yeah.
Because the lane violation took away your opportunity to get a free throw. It didn't affect the free throw, or to rebound. It didn't affect the free throw. It affected your ability to get the rebound. You should get the ball.
I think that's fair. Have you ever gotten any traction with that?
No. If it ain't broke, we're going to give you skin-tight shirts now.
Okoro on the deck, saves it. Mathis is open and buries it.
Boy, anytime you hear Mathis is open, buries it is going to follow.
Yeah.
When he's open, he makes it just about every time.
Baugh driving right into the teeth of the defense. And then we've got a foul underneath. Going on Oregon.
James Wiseman going to go to the free throw line. He was fouled going up for that follow dunk. And in his first 2 games, Wiseman shot 10 free throws per game.
#1 incoming recruit, as you mentioned, the presumptive #1 pick in the NBA draft, and still playing. A hearing Monday. We'll have to wait and see what that does if Memphis keeps playing him from a skill point of view, pure basketball, other than the fact that he's 7'1" and tremendously agile and athletic.
Yeah, forget all that.
Other than that.
Other than that, he's very skilled.
Yeah.
I mean, he can really play. He's that extra bounce, odd bounce like that. But Okoro gave up the block out and went for the ball, and it took that funny hop, and Baugh was able to get in there and get it. And these weaves out front. Memphis is switching everything, so you just want to get the matchup you like and turn the corner.
How pretty was that as Pritchard goes over the top and Houston slams it home.
Well, last several years, that's really the new way of handling that kind of penetration. If you get help up, you just throw it up to the rim. Kentucky does that as well as anybody. It has over the years. Just a great screen roll run. And that's a play a lot of teams run with that side pick and roll, the opposite double. ESPN Classic. You ever do that? Watch some of these old basketball games?
Yeah.
If you have any beef with officiating today, go back and watch one of those old games. Holy cow, was it bad.
He missed one game. He's still got a little bit of general soreness, they are saying, but he's back in there tonight.
Okay. He's got a good skill level. A good jump stop on the run by Pritchard.
The Lawson family, Diedrich, KJ, Chandler, and there's a fourth one. There's another one coming.
But he has been born already.
Yes. No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not.
And I was stunned that Georgia leapfrogged Alabama.
Right.
How is that possible? I mean, Georgia was behind Alabama last week. Georgia's lost to South Carolina with a sub-500 record. Now, what happened between last week and this with Alabama, losing to a team ranked above them? And when they figure this out, they better figure out communication, figure out their defense. Memphis is going to continue to get better. It's an impressive group of young players.
Yeah, great test in the early going for both of these programs.
Got a switch.
Lawson guarded by Ellis. Cross-court look. Patterson short.
That was a bad shot. Patterson had the three right away. Just take it instead of taking one dribble into a challenge shot.
No look past Quinones. Gets it back from Baugh. A little bit strong on the three. Offensive rebound, Baugh, and a foul.
Alleged that he has anything to do with. I don't believe that. But, I was with. Good pass. Really good job of spreading the floor.
And Oregon will get a little separation, and Memphis will cut back into that lead. It's down to 6. First ever meeting between the Ducks and the Tigers.
Here comes the trap.
It's tough to rattle Pritchard, though, isn't it? Nice look, and then the three is not there for Richardson.
Not a bad shot, but if Richardson had swung it, Patterson was wide open.
Quinones, and it's a 4-point game.
Memphis just keeps coming. And they're doing it without Wiseman on the floor.
Patterson's in trouble.
Because he dribbled it from 3 to start this season. But USC has a couple of big guys that were really good. Onyeka Okongwu, who is excellent. Boy, what a rainbow that was.
Seriously. Had to alter the shot, hit the rim several minutes ago, and maybe that knee is just a little bit too painful right now for him to continue. Again, the good news is it does not look like it's a serious injury, but he may not return tonight. Wide open Richardson passed up the three.
Probably a good decision. Just run a little offense or run that weave. Get the matchup you want, then go. I think Pritchard's got it now.
Step back three over Achiuwa, well short. And Okoro with a lucky bounce, and he puts it home.
Having Achiuwa out there to guard Pritchard just meant you've got a great opportunity for an offensive rebound. Takes a big guy far away from the basket, and you're rebounding against a smaller Memphis lineup near the bucket.
For the vast majority of the night, it feels like Memphis has had 5 freshmen in the game. On occasion, we've seen Harris or Lomax.
Yeah, when they got really experienced with a sophomore in there along with 4 freshmen.
Whoa.
That's a walk.
Yeah, sure looked like it. And eventually it's a shot clock.
Defend. And in the half court, it's been difficult for Memphis to get those. They haven't run a lot of great offense.
Wiseman back into the game now for the Tigers. 5:40 to go, 6-point game.
Now Wiseman switched out on Richardson.
Richardson tries to drive. Remember, he's a lefty, a little bit too strong off the glass, but he runs down the loose ball.
And Wiseman went after the block, takes him off the board.
Good look from the corner, but not there for Houston.
And a really good block out by DJ Jeffries.
Nice look. Ball wide open. Quinones.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised they dropped down to 15. They didn't play well. They got beaten up a little bit against Florida State. That one at home. But I think Florida is much better than number 15. Excellent backcourt with Noah Locke and Andrew Nembhard. Scotty Lewis come in there. He's an excellent defender. And then Kerry Blackshear got another switch, and Wiseman all the way out on the perimeter. So he's got to give Pritchard some space, and Pritchard shot over him yet again. Oregon's doing a nice job of creating mismatches and then going at those mismatches.
Trace Tinkle and the Beavers getting ready to host Oklahoma in the second game. A couple of interesting teams who feel like they might be a little bit sneaky underrated, sneaky better than people are giving them credit for. Boy, look at the work on the glass. And finally, Wiseman stuffs it home.
Well, the size difference, and Memphis was just playing volleyball on the offensive glass against the smaller Oregon Ducks.
Houston inside.
Wiseman has this little catch and shoot, that lefty jumper from 17 feet. He can stretch that out.
Played only 5 minutes in the first half because of foul trouble. Really making his presence felt here in the second half. He's got Memphis back within 4.
The ball is really good on the ball. Long arms, moves his feet very well. Surprised that wasn't a call.
Richardson buries a 3. Big bucket for the Ducks.
Damian Ball went down. Looked like he had pretty good position. But it was a no-point
lead for the Ducks.
Oregon running that same box set screen for the screener. Didn't get anything. Could have had a Okoro, but Okoro threw it back out. I think a smart play. Run a little clock. And
got a switch here. Achiuwa on Richardson. He gives it up to Pritchard.
Here comes another one and another switch. He turns it down, though.
And great anticipation there by Jeffries to come up with a steal.
Well, you got to pull up and just use the glass there. You take it into shot blockers. There was nothing there for Pritchard. He should know that.
Ball driving on Okoro after a switch. Won't go down, but the follow will. And guess who? It's Wiseman again.
Well, you just get a shot up there, and James Wiseman, because of the drive, there was a little scramble situation. Nobody got a body on him.
And he's got a double-double all of a sudden after doing virtually nothing in the first half because of the foul trouble. Pritchard driving on Wiseman, puts the brakes on, needs some help, and to go. 18 turnovers now committed by the Ducks. Lomax back into the game, maybe to just steady them, settle them down a little bit. Quinones, nice little stop and go, but he's trapped. Wiseman for 3. Pritchard down with a rebound.
I think all in all, Dana Altman would take that. Certainly a shot that Wiseman can hit. This is a big possession right now.
And Dana Altman. 5 on the shot clock. Pritchard. Yes!
Boy, there you can see the competitive side of Peyton Pritchard. He is a winner, man.
Wiseman. And
not sure. So Vern Harris gave like 4 different signals. So it was basically just what? Pick one? Pick whatever you like best.
How about Pritchard? He's made only 2 out of 8 threes tonight, but how big have those 2 threes been in the last couple of minutes? And in the Pac-12 tournament, otherwise they don't get into the NCAA tournament, and they wind up with a Sweet 16.